Okay, everyone. So here we go. We're looking at another matching question. This is our second example. Our second example of the matching question. Okay. So I hope that you're getting a really good idea from working with us on the proper strategy, methods, and tactics for doing the reading comprehension for the IELTS. A lot of students really aren't clear about how to do the different questions. And so I'm hoping that these lessons and the strategy and how to do it is something that can be really, really helpful to you. Okay? All right. So, and as you know, with our basic strategy, we have to look at the words in the box and then quickly go to the passage, and we can circle where we see each word. Some might appear more than once. The second thing you can do is to look at the possible answer choices and underline keywords, which might help you to be able to choose an answer much faster. I think it's very important in terms of step 3 to do your names or nouns that appear once in the passage first, because they'll be faster to answer. And the key thing you have to do is read the sentence where you see the word in the box. Read the sentence where you see the word in the box, and then pick which one of the questions has the matching language. Right? It's all about your ability to match and pick synonym language, and that's what we're doing here. Okay? So the better you're able to do that, the more successful you're going to be when doing it, when doing these types of questions. This one is coming from the Cambridge Official Practice Test 8. This is from test number 7, and it's reading passage 2. And it's the one that's dealing with, let's see, fatal attraction. All right, fatal attraction. You know, one good thing that I find when you guys are going to be studying for the IELTS exam for reading comprehension, you're actually going to become a lot smarter, because they have reading passage topics about so many different things. So one benefit from doing the IELTS exam is that you're going to get a lot more just general knowledge about a lot of different topics that you probably wouldn't normally read about. As you know, we don't have to read the passage first. We don't have to read the topics or topic sentences or scan through or anything like that. Sorry, skim or scan through the passage. We go directly to the question. For a matching question, it's going to be easy. For this one, let's see, it starts off, we have a fill the blank question. And if you're doing the exam, you can start with the fill the blank question first. But again, if you have a matching question, it might be good maybe sometimes to start with your matching question also, just because those words in the box are most of the time going to be some type of proper noun, and they're going to be easy to find. They're going to be much easier to find, much easier to find. Sometimes I've seen this actually on some of the older tests where they actually have a reversed, where like these words in the box are actually the questions. Like number 19 would say Venus flytrap, number 20 would say bladderwort, and number 21 would say Drosera sundew. And then they have the sentences inside the box. So I've seen it reverse. It's very rare that it happens that way, but I've seen it happen that way where they have it reversed. But the strategy doesn't change. Instead of, you would still look at those proper nouns and find them and read them and then find the match. So don't worry about if they have it switched the other way around in terms of the style. Okay, sometimes they like to switch the style around to mess with you or give you something that maybe you haven't looked at before. But this one is going to be really straightforward, because we can find these words in the box really easy. As you see, we have 4 questions. We have five things in the box. So one of them is definitely not going to be used. We can only use each letter once. The reason why is there are no directions. For you to be able to use a letter more than once, you have to have directions that say you can use a letter more than once. All right, so always be aware of that. If you can use a letter more than once, there will be directions that say you can use a letter more than once. So it's very important to be aware of that so that you don't make simple mistakes and get things wrong, okay? Now, let's go ahead and find. All right, right. Number 19 says something about digesting insects and creatures. Number 20 says something about a slippery substance. I would circle these as keywords. 21 says something about creating an empty space and insects being sucked. Those are my keywords. And 22 is going to be something about a sticky substance. So I would circle those keywords in the questions, because then when I read the sentences for these different words in the box, it might make it easier for me to answer it faster. Okay? You get it? All right, let's go find Venus flytrap. All right, I see Venus flytrap right there in the right here, very first one. Okay. There's bladderwort right there. There's Drosera right there. All right, so actually it looks like this one is lining up. It looks like it's lining up. Yep. And here we have something about Venus flytrap again. Venus flytrap, Drosera sundrew. So we have them appear a couple of different times. And let's look back again. What were some of our other ones we had to look at? Raffles. Oh, the pitcher plants. All right, we also had something about the pitcher plants. Okay. And there we have with the pitcher, something about the pitcher plants right there. There's something about the raffle pitcher plant right there. All right, so we have the raffle, and then the other one was the purple pitcher plant. Right, that was for the raffle pitcher plant. And there's the purple pitcher plant. So yeah, these are going in order. These are going in order. All right, these are definitely going in order. So I saw that the Venus flytrap and the Drosera appear more than once. I mean, the Venus flytrap and the Drosera appear number one more than once. So I would probably do the bladderwort and the raffle and the purple pitcher. I would probably do those first because I only need to read one sentence and see if they fit, see if they match up. So those are the ones that I would do probably first. All right, so let's have a look first and read about the bladderwort first. The bladderwort has an equally sophisticated way, excuse me, the bladderwort has, I'm in paragraph B, everybody. The bladderwort has an equally sophisticated way of setting its underwater trap. It pumps water out of a tiny bag-like bladders, making a vacuum inside. When small creatures swim past, they bend the hairs on the bladder, causing a flap to open. The low pressure sucks water in, carrying the animal along with it. Okay? So it says some kind of trap using water where it uses pressure to suck the animal in. Okay? So let's see if that is a match for any of our answer choices. All right. It uses other creatures to help it digest. Nope. Nothing about that. Slippery substance. Nope. Here it is right here, 21. It creates an empty space into which insects are sucked. Yep. Because we just read those sentences and it talked about insects being sucked in. Okay. It talked about insects being sucked in. If you want, go ahead and rewind the tape and you can look back at the sentence again. But we looked at the sentence for the bladderwort right here. And we read these sentences and look at its methodology of what it's doing, and it talks about it using pressure to suck water in and carry the animal along with it. It said it makes a vacuum, and a vacuum is a synonym for an empty space. Okay? So that means that on our answer sheet, we would mark Number 21 is being B for bladderwort. All right, now let's look at the raffle pitcher plant. Like I said, I'm doing those first because they appear more. I see them appearing once. All right, here's a raffle right here. The raffle pitcher plant right here in paragraph B at the end, where you see the small little hand. The raffle pitcher plant from the jungles of Borneo produce nectar that both lures insects and forms a slick surface, which they can't get a grip. Insects that land on the rim slide on the liquid and tumble in. Okay, we know that's a match. We saw that one already, and that's why it's good sometimes to go ahead and select the key words. Right here, 21 is the answer. It says slippery surface, and when we just read that sentence, it talked about when we just read that sentence. Okay, for the raffle plant, it talked about it forms a slick surface. It says it right there, right? It says it forms a slick surface. So where it talked about it forming a slick surface, right? That's right here. It's talked about, it forms a slick surface. Okay, and so when that's why we picked that as our answer choice. Now let's look at where it talks about the purple. All right, but the purple pitcher plant. I'm in paragraph C, second sentence. But the purple pitcher plant, which lives in bogs and infertile sandy soils in North America, enlists other organisms to process its food. Okay, so again we see this answer also. It says the purple pitcher plant enlists other organisms to process its food. So it uses other organisms, like other animals. That's what an animal is, an organism. It enlists other organisms to process its food. Could be animal, could be something else, bacteria, I guess possible when it talks about organism. All right, so that would be right here, 19. It uses other creatures, synonym for organism, to help it digest insects. Digest is a synonym for processing its food. So the correct answer for number 19 is E, purple pitcher plant. All right, and then we just have one more to go find. Something talking about a sticky substance. Something talking about a sticky substance. So let's look at the Drosera plant. Now it's either going to be the Drosera plant or the Venus flytrap that talks about a sticky substance. So that's all we're looking for. All right, the Drosera, I'm in paragraph B, everybody. Paragraph B, right here where you see the hand on the screen. Right there, that little hand that's moving. The Drosera sundew, meanwhile, has a thick, sweet liquid oozing from its leaves, which first attracts insects, then holds them fast before the leaves snap shut. The Drosera sundew, meanwhile, has a thick, sweet liquid oozing from its leaves, which first attracts insects, then holds them fast before the leaves snap shut. Right, where it talks about holds is a sweet liquid oozing from its leaves. All right, and holds them fast. That means they get stuck. That's our synonym right there. When it says it holds them fast, that means they get stuck there. They can't move. All right. So the correct answer for our sentence is talking about produces a sticky substance is the Drosera. So number 22 would be C. So our correct answers here was number 19 was E, number 20 was D, number 21 was B, and number 22 was C. All right, so again, that's how we do our matching question. Thanks a lot, everyone, and I hope you now understand how to do a matching question. Talk to you soon.